there, Jarrad Mahon from Investors Edge Real Estate, bringing you my latest Perth property update for July. I'm going to take you through the sale market, the investment opportunities in this market, and the rental market, so stick with us. The number of properties for sale has steadily increased since January, when we were at our low of 8,700 properties. Month on month, we've seen a gradual increase, and we're now at around 10,700 properties on the market. We're still in a seller's market because we're below 12,000, where we normally classify things going over to a neutral market. So, there are still more buyers out there than there are sellers, but it's certainly taking a lot longer to sell properties, and I'm averaging about 3 weeks at the moment. You've got to be very good with your follow-up on every single buyer and work hard to create competition when the market is a little bit more soft as it is now. So make sure your agent is very proactive and gets you as much feedback as possible. So if you aren't priced quite right, you can make the adjustments quickly while you've still got enough demand to sell before you go stale. Now, our number of properties sold per week have gradually been dropping, and we're now in the low 700s that are ticking over. So as more properties come on, we're not getting as many being cleared off and sold every week. So all I can foresee at this point is that things are going to continue to gradually increase in the number of properties for sale, and as we slide back off and finish out our boom cycle. Now, what's happening as far as the suburbs go is the outer areas at the moment in the 15 to 40 kilometre radius. There's a lot of turnover out there. Anywhere that represents affordability for people is particularly popular. Now, one of the things that's driven growth in those areas was the change to our first homeowners grant, and in June that switched over to now only applying a stamp duty concession to properties that are less than 430,000, and between 430 and 530,000 there's a scaling to that stamp duty. So that's another reason for buyer interest to be focused in the more affordable areas, because they still get their full concession when they're buying under 430. And we had a huge run of buyers that were purchasing up to June. We actually had triple the number of first homeowners grants being used in May and June, just people not wanting to miss out on getting through a purchase at a slightly higher price up to the 500 bracket. So where do we see the best investment opportunities in this market? It's still a good time to look at house and land packages. I'd certainly be purchasing one over the next 6 months so that you can hopefully see some growth as we round out our boom cycle. I'd be staying away from off the plan unless it's really well located and well priced. And with our development sites and subdivision, I'd certainly be looking in the outer areas where you're going to get some of that growth too. What's happened to the inner area development sites is they've had their growth, and it's very difficult to find anything that's going to give you a decent enough return. And in our inner areas, you're not going to have as much competition, but don't expect to have growth anytime over the next 2 to 3 years. You're going to have to wait till the cycle comes around again. When I look over at our rental market, we've really been having to work hard there too, and our vacancy rate has gone up from where it was at the start of the year at around 3%, and we're now up at 4.1%. And it actually doesn't show, it's been a very gradual increase, but it doesn't show signs of stopping yet. It's still softening, and as more of the first home buyers move across and out of renting, that's going to keep happening. The median rent, as more properties are on the market for rent, the choice is larger, and owners have to reduce their rent in order to attract a tenant more quickly. And our median rent has dropped from its high at the start of the year at $460, we're now down to $450. So not a huge drop in the actual median rent, but the vacancy rate has certainly gone up, and it's now taking us a good 2 to 3 weeks to find a tenant. We have to, the median rent may not show it, but in a lot of suburbs we're seeing reductions in rent between $20 and $50. Inner CBD's been hit the hardest, and there's reductions as much as $100 or more per week. And what we've seen gradually in the number for rent has, gradually going up month on month. So, be smart when your property's coming up for renewal and you need to find a tenant. It's far better to meet the market and have more tenants to choose from. You want to be making the choices, not hoping and praying that the one tenant that's not a quality tenant is choosing you. So be realistic, listen to the market, make adjustments quickly, and you'll find your tenant in 2 weeks or less. So thanks for listening to my update. Any specific questions relating to your property, send them through. Absolutely no trouble to answer them. And I wish you a fantastic rest of the month. Bye.